This is your daily market recap from Monday, October 3rd, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Maxey, DXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap from Monday, October 3rd, 2022. Hopefully everyone is having a good day, being safe. I know there's a lot going on. We need to talk about it. Expected a bounce. Hopefully people knew that was coming. A lot going on in the sense of, well, first and last 3 trading days of the month. Please, if you are newer to the channel, please subscribe. Check out the content on Twitter. I'm trying to watch this video, please. Last 3 in the first 3 trading days of the month. There's typically a seasonality trade of, was it sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur. Again, I'm not trying to tell people to go all in bullish at the lows, which we tried to last week, but please don't chase. I mean, this is going to be a volatile market. I know some things are moving big and people are getting excited. It's still a trader's market, friends. There's no long-term investing at this point. I promise you, wait for the Feds to pivot, wait for things to get worse, and let the Feds capitulate. I've said this dozens of times a month relating to how out of a tech bull market will come a commodity bull market. It's just going to have what I call birthing pains, where it pops, drops, but the relative performance will be obvious because it will be strength. While tech will make lower lows, commodity names will make higher lows, equal lows, or slightly lower lows, but they will not get absolutely pounded into the dirt because a lot of those names are still not that high up on the long-term charts. Just really depends. Okay, please be safe. Check out, again, the YouTube channel, Twitter, trying to keep people updated. We'll eventually reopen the Discord room, but it's a lot. It's really a lot to help a lot of people all the time. So let's get into it. Going into this week, said, wouldn't be surprised if we bounced. Bitcoin, going nowhere. Not really bearish or bullish. I've said this 1,000 times. Got to break the lows to be bearish. Needs to get back over, I would say, like 25,000 to be long-term bullish. There's probably a trading range, and that's about it. Oil, said this last week. Watch the 76 range. Watch. First major resistance, and what did it do? Bounce. Now I know OPEC meets later this week. Do not be surprised when they announce a million barrel cut. Everybody knows that's kind of the expectation. So it being down into that meeting probably should rise. Makes sense. Be safe. Be smart. I think a lot of people they always get too bearish at the lows and too bullish at the highs until the wipeout, which we'll talk about. Everything is going to wipe out. You couldn't see. I mean, technically what I would say is, like, if the market was about to wipe out, I've shown you what looked bullish, why it didn't seem like it was confirmed. I hope people understand that. Okay? Because there was just talked about in the weekend recap, and I'm going to show you again why I was not uber bearish going into today. Dollar. Here was one of the things we talked about. It peaked last week on the Bank of England junk. It looks like China is going to sell dollars. Again, long term, very bullish, the dollar. I mean, long term, I don't know, whatever. After it bottoms, I still think it'll go higher. Probably the 20-day. Man, it'd be awesome if it came back to 29. Then it should probably rise higher. We've all talked about this. When debt is destroyed relative to the rest of the world, currencies crumble, people buy dollars. Until that changes, you got to assume it's going to last. TLT, things that aren't bearish. We talked about yields getting blown out, novice gap, yield stabilizing. I've said this, again, thousands of times in my videos. The markets like stable bond markets. They don't like instability in the bond market. Last week, at the beginning, pretty unstable, right? And then you based out, and then the market made a new lower low, but bonds didn't get crushed with it. If you've actually looked at the SPY relative to the bond market this year, they look pretty much identical. Will there be a divergence at some point? I think so, because there will be deflation. The VIX. What did we say? This was not confirming. Look at Friday. The market made what? A new low. SPY did. But look at the VIX. It did not confirm it. Again, things that aren't bearish. I was trying to make people aware of this stuff. Again, they read the headlines. They think Credit Suisse is going out of business. They think the world is ending. And the evidence just said it wasn't. The odds were in the favor of what? A bounce. And here you're getting it today. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. And talked about it this morning. It's probably going to be a professional gap and go. Look at that. Makes new lows, right? Comes right back. What have we noticed lately? Traps. Lots of traps. Here are your lows. You break below it, come back. Look above it, fail. Look above it. Look above it, equal, make a lower low, then pop. Like, I posted this again on Twitter. I said, whoa, someone pointed that out. I can't remember who was posting on Twitter, but it was like, you're right. Every move has been, the inflection point has turned into a trap. Bull trap. Bull trap. We'll see. And again, and this is the thing. If you're looking for when the market's going to peak going up, more than likely what? It's going to be very obvious. A squeeze, a massive squeeze. Squeeze. Mini squeeze, right? Like, I think that's what you're going to get here. Now, how high? I've said this last week. I said probably the 20-day, because the 20-day matters. Now, approximate mid 380s. That seems likely. Now, is it going to get there tomorrow? Please don't be like that. No. It's going to take its time. QQQ, the laggards, but QQQ held up, right? Same kind of thing. Close at the lows, boom, gapped up. Probably bounces up to the 290s, the 285 level. Things that aren't bearish, right? Like, you take out the lows and you come right back. You got to be careful. Here was another thing that did not confirm the new lows. The IWM. Look at that on Friday. Nowhere near the lows of 162. Closed at 165. I'm telling you, folks, you get so many of y'all get tunnel vision and then ask me questions, which I don't mind answering if you've done your homework. But I'm like, have you looked at the IWM? No. Have you looked at the bond market? No. Have you looked at the dollar? No. I just read the headlines and everyone's bearish. Can't be like that. Call the news the noose, because it literally will take your money. Yeah, baby. We got some of the metals here. Look at this. I said, watch the action down here. Professional gap. Let me zoom out. I've said this for months. Since the 2011 highs failed. Everybody who bought at some point was going to get washed out. Look below and fail on the weekly. Bouncing back. Now, again, I'm not a long-term bull yet because I don't see the volume, but I did anticipate a bounce. If you don't believe me, I said the best bounces are when you break the channel, look below it, and get back above it, because everybody's bearish and everyone gives up, bounces right back. Problem is I don't see a ton of volume yet. 163 to maybe 160. Again, do not chase the stuff. It probably goes higher. Maybe the best trade would be to sell some puts that expire worthless, that will expire worthless. But again, be very careful buying calls in the stock. I think you're limiting your upside is limited. Okay? Silver. Things that aren't bearish. Silver always leads the market, or always goes with the market down, right? Like, silver just gets pummeled when the market and the economy look bad. Look at the action last week. It was a head and shoulders bottom. We talked about this. And then look today. Big monster gap. Probably getting a little exhaustive near term. But don't be surprised if it gets back up into this 19 to 20 range. Here comes the 200-day, right? I don't know how high this is going to go. I mean, people keep over trading this stuff. I took a little bit of miners off today just so I could buy some gas stuff. I'll show you that trade. Again, it's on Twitter. Posted all this stuff. Posted on StockTwits. Try to keep you informed. Please do not be too quick to sell. GDXJ. This is the trade that we were buying in the 26s. Down here. Bought it. Did not buy it on the low. Bought it this day. Said, ooh, look at the volume. And then we added more when it confirmed it. Look. Not a lot, because I typically don't like to chase gaps. But I was like, that's a professional gap. Tried to buy as much as close to 27. Here it goes. Now we're up to the 50-day. Like I said, somewhere near the 50-day. But if silver is going to go higher, gold might go a little higher. It typically gets over the 50-day. It should get over the 50-day. Maybe 31, 32, maybe. Again, more you're up, less you own, but ride your winners. GDX, I hate large cap miners. Again, keep in mind, if the market's going higher, miners will go higher. I hate large cap because I think they have to buy other gold names, and they're going to have to devalue their stock probably to pay for this stuff. 50-day. Here you go. Maybe gets up to 27. You don't know. Again, keep in mind, oversold, broke the channel, look below, fail, boom. Don't be short in this stuff yet. Wait a couple days minimum. Let the tops kind of chop out or let it novice gap. I think at this point, though, be aware. First 3 days of the month, if money's coming into metals, miners, that's going to tell you about the seasonality of the quarter. Probably going to be buying it later on dips. They will. They'll support it. I think the ultimate bottom is going to be the washout when the VIX, I've talked about, I'll say it again. Go check out the monthly. Let's do the monthly real quick. I'll just go back. The GDX, here's the VIX. Here's 2008. Pow. Okay, it's going to do a monster run. Again, maybe not as bad because who knows what banking institutions are going on. This is what we expect. GDX to get wiped out. And here you go. Here was a nice bounce the month before. 27 up to 38. Okay, that could happen here. Not saying 27, 38, but maybe it goes up to 28, 29. Does that make sense? We're not marrying this trade. We are just literally trading what seems obvious. Because you run through all the miners. We looked at them. We're like, the market doesn't look that bearish. Look at them. Look at AG on Friday. Boom, gaps up. Maybe you can get up to the 200-day. Maybe it gets up to this box somewhere in the 9s. Said 7, 8, 9s. I don't know. Trade around it. Be smart. Trying to adjust the box. Don't chase it. Maybe sell some puts. AEM. We love AEM. Long term. Volume at the lows. Retest. Bouncing. Maybe gets up to, you can see it. Hopefully if you're trading this stuff, you see it. Maybe you get up to somewhere in this range. Just trade it. Just remember, like the birthing pains of going from a a tech bull market to a commodity bull market is going to be choppy, sloppy. You're just going to see relative strength, but it's not going to at some point they all get what? Wiped. Wiped. And wiped, like the market, nothing's safe. I say this, let me do this rant over. Nothing is safe. When institutions are selling, hedge funds are having redemptions. People have been holding into things thinking they're the safe, and they get margin called and they have to sell things. They will sell their winners. Nothing's safe, okay? Some things will act better, but nothing is safe when the market turns into VIX 50 plus, and it just turns into absolute liquidation. Newmont, freaking hate it, but it looks okay. It looks okay. PAAS. Little gap up. This thing has just been beaten. Silver, maybe it gets up into the 19 range. Keep it simple. All right. Commodities. Friends, I've said this a million times. Go watch my video from November. Who wins the tech war? And the answer was always commodities. Told you. Let's get into some of these names. I'm going to be expanding the list in time because you do not realize that tech action with momentum and insane highs will now come into the commodity market when what? This bear market is over. And so we need to be focused on the future. It's just like trading tech. All you really need to do is own tech the last 8 years. Well, now you're probably going to only need to own commodities for the next 3 to 5 and trade them because they're going to go up the most. Tech is going to absolutely lag. U.S. Steel. Here we go. Talked about it last week. I was like, it's not taking out the lows. It's not taking out it's not taking out the lows. The stupid Seinfeld. I feel like I have to scream when I say this stuff. I'm like, it wasn't taking out the lows. Here you go. Popping over. Filling the gap. 20s. Somewhere in the 20s probably. Maybe higher. Who knows, right? Nucor. Said, watch the levels. Look at this. Friday was not taking out the lows. All these things, you got to pay attention. That's why I have so many screens and I watch all my stuff. If you're looking at one ticker only and you're looking at one chart only, you are flying blind. It's like staring at one point of the map and trying to figure out where to go. Nucor, probably going to bounce. 120s. 120. All right, VALE, up on the Brazil presidential election. Seems a little more business friendly, maybe. Nice gap. Friday's action. Things that aren't bearish. Commodities. You guys seeing the relative strength here? Because you're not going to see it in other names. Now, they're playing catch up today, but they're not leading. Take note of who is leading, who is lagging. Tech is lagging. Commodities were leading. Notice they were up last week. These tech names, when we get them, we're not. We're absolutely not, right? CCJ holding up last week. Looks pretty good. Not even anywhere close. Here you go. Bounce up to 20, backs off. People want to short this uranium. I agree at some point. Nothing's safe, but be careful. Do not rush. Do not rush. Let me throw in some Freeport McMoran because I like some of this long term. They got gold, oil, copper exposure. Things that aren't bearish, not taking out the lows. You see my alarm. I got it there. Bouncing probably up to like the 100-day or somewhere like if you wanted to draw a little trend line, you can see little baby trend line. That's right. Little baby trend line. So cute. Probably something like that. Keep it simple. Again, expecting it to bounce. Arrow, copper. Names that didn't look bad. Look at the stuff last week. All rising. All rise for the commodities. Yes, like we're in court. Look at this stuff that's not bearish. Remember, bear market. Everything gets pulled down. The started stuff is starting to chop. Holding. Please, for the love of God, take notes of the relative strength. CF, we got in this at the 100-day. People are like, oh, wow, this is pretty high. It's going to dump. I'm like, look at this thing. It's acting great. Here you go. Pops up the 50-day. I still anticipate somewhere in the mid 100s, like 105, 104, 106. Please don't bring a ruler. That was great action. I mean, look at the market on Friday. Absolute burner down. Doji. Tells you something. Relative strength. Mosaic. Same kind of thing. Right? Doji on Friday. Popping right up. Doesn't look that bad. Do y'all get it? Please leave a comment. I want people to, again, because everybody I talk to I think is getting it, but then some people don't. I get DM'd and they're like, I don't get it. It's like, how did I not explain this well enough? What am I doing wrong? Tell me. All right, let's get into tech, right? AMD. Where are you, AMD? Talked about this in the weekend video. Said, Doji on Friday, interesting. Now you have a left-right combo. Probably can get up to 69.70, maybe up into the like mid-70s. Again, I'm not trading this stuff making new lows, but if they're laggards and the market does rise, people will buy this stuff. Just remember, names that, again, anything that I said was making new lows from July, leave it alone. Meaning it's not leading. Now, again, it will bounce if the market bounces, but it's not going to bounce as strong. Okay? Got it? Great. NVIDIA. A name you lay off of, but we looked at it Friday and said, damn, smoky hammer. Not making new lows, bouncing. SMH. Damn, smoky. Said hammer. Man, the market was just like looking like it was going off the cliff, and all it was is a hammer. And I said this, and I went through like 10 minutes on this. I said, man, sometimes you get hammers at the extremes in this thing. Hope you're prepared. Hope you're prepared. I think that was the last one I was referring to. Yeah. We'll see. And then look what happens today. Boom. How high? How high? In the early low 200s. That's my guess. Good old Apple. Right? Hits the range lows. Boom. Bounces back. Maybe 150s. I personally think Apple looks better than some of the other tech names. Hence, it probably bounces a little better. Right? Amazon, same boat. Looks better. It's not taking out the relative lows. Chopping here. Probably bounces back into the 120s. I just don't want tech. I just want commodities because I think there's more upside and the risk headlines push in tech or commodities favor, not tech. Not at all. If there's anything world-related, geopolitical, commodities are going to bounce way more than tech. CRM, leave it alone, but not surprising. It's bouncing. 150s. Goog, another one. Not interested. Made new lows, bouncing back, as it should. Market, probably somewhere in the 105 to 103. Maybe. We'll see. Meta, another one. Dead. Keeps making lower lows. All right, looks crappy. Maybe it bounces up to the 20-day. Just showing you stuff. Another hammer on Friday. Why? The market looked like it was about to open the doors of the gates to hell. Microsoft, here you go. Close on the dead lows. Bounces back. Nice little trap. 20-day. 246 maybe. Again, if you didn't get into this stuff, please don't chase it. MicroStrategy holding up. Remember, we talked about this on Fridays. Things that don't look bearish, making higher highs. There you go. Netflix, same kind of thing. Nowhere near the June lows. Doji on Friday, holding up. Do y'all see this? The relative strength. Roblox gets a massive downgrade today. What happens? Zing, bounces right back. Things that aren't bearish. It's not even taking out September lows. Tesla. Laggard? Yeah. Maybe a professional gap? Leave it alone. I would not buy this name at all. Now, it'll bounce 20 points. Oh, you were wrong. And it's like, well, the market was going higher. It could lead higher, but I wouldn't buy this at this point. This gap scares me. This gap scares me today. Now, I know they had some news, but we've said they've got a lot of headline risk. In every country that they're producing, people are talking about restraining them, or they're having issues. Germany, China, U.S. Everybody hates them for the most part. Whatever. Whew. Trying to like slow down, Dan, so you can get everybody, you can talk for everybody. All right, where did I put? I did a little bit of reorganizing my charts. Give me 2 seconds. Where did you go? Oh, I guess I got rid of it. Give me, let me add it back. I hear my wife laughing in the background. She's laughing at me. No, I'm just kidding. Insert row. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Boom. NDAQ. Should have shorted at 64. Now it's bouncing. Okay. Remember, this is the Coinbase like kind of exchange for the NASDAQ. If the NASDAQ's going into a bear market, you bet your bottom line this thing is going to be toasted at some point. Go look back at the past. 60s. Look for the low 60s. Probably absolutely easy short. Okay. What do we want to do next? XBI. Things that aren't bearish. Oh my God. Look at Friday's action. Market's beaten down. Hammer. Nowhere near the lows, y'all. Not bearish. Okay. Not bearish. I'm sorry. XLF said, watch the 30 level. Look at this. Boom. Open up and popping. At worst feels the gap probably gets back into the low mid 32s. Morgan Stanley, not even close to the lows. Look at that. Look down. Bounce right back. Not even near the June lows. Things that don't look bearish. Didn't confirm the breakdown. JP Morgan. Now, this is a piece of junk. And this, again, made new lows. This puts you on your short list. All right, bounce, fail. I don't know, 115 maybe max. Again, just this is the hardest thing about laggards popping, how high they're gonna go. Just whatever. I mean, watch the market because that's their fuel. Like they'll get bought because they're in particular ETFs, funds that are rising. But are they really relatively strong? No, absolutely snot. No. Solar. Fava beans. Tan. You know that sound from Silence of the Lamb. Tasting. Look at this. Nice. Hold the 200-day. Please show me the 80s. ENPH. Again, I want these to bounce and short the absolute junk out of them. Now, again, if oil and gas are rising, because I am in some gas names now. Just got into them today. These should pop. Right? ENPH 300s. I got an alarm at 321, but I mean, let me add another alarm right here. 305. Think and sin. Oh boy. Sedge, even this piece of junk. We talked about this is the laggard of the group. Ooh, come on. Get up. Get up here. I mean, here, there's multiple ways to look at it. Let me. Trend line. Or this area. I don't know. Just wait for the pop. You got to let it go. For solar. Congratulations to the people who are like, I'm actually going long this name because you're right. It's going to pop. And then it's the flop. Here we go. This is what I want. This is how we do it. Boom. Please blow out upside. Get all the shorts and sellers to chase again. And if you go look at the monthly, check this out. I don't know if it'll hit it or not. But there is a beautiful 50% Fibonacci right here at some range highs from the past. Man, if we could just somehow get into this, that would be the excelente short, mi amigo. So funny. Oil, not surprised it's up. We talked about it. You know, I told you the oil at the beginning. Here's at the 20-day going into OPEC. Who cares? Bought nat gas today. Oh, I love it when a plan comes. Said, watch the 200-day in this little zone. Here we go. Bought it below 22. Bought it all morning. Not all morning. Bought some 2/3 of my position. I like it. Novice gap. Multiple tight range. If oil's going higher, why is it natural gas? Please do not buy drip. Warn people to take profits, but they never listen. I said if the market's going higher, oil and gas, even if they were lagging, that stuff would rise, right? So here you go. Here's the trade. Buying it here. I'll show you my upside targets. Minimum somewhere around here. 26, 27. Not bad. Not bad little trade. However you want to trade it, go right ahead. XOP. Told people, be careful. Dude, again, not Friday. Look at this. This is not bearish, like about to jump off the cliff. No, tight action, gaps up. Look at that. Watch the 100-day. Could it? Could it? Could it? I don't know. Could it? You don't know. You just don't know. Sorry, I just realized I'm on the XOP monthly. I need to get on the daily, but as I was saying, please don't short this stuff. Look at that. Oh man, holding up so good on Friday. Bounced up. Could it get up into 140s? I don't know. You're not far from the 100-day. Just be careful. I've said this a dozen times. You can't short oil service with expected big moves down if the market's rising. So whoever was trading drip, real man of genius, like that commercial. Nice work, buying at the low, selling on the pop. Anyway, that's a good trade if you bought the drip and sold it in the 19s. Isn't that here? Pull it up. What was the high on Friday or last week? Whatever. Oh, snappy. Up in the 20s. Ooh, 1920. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Let me get into Exxonmobil, then I'll end it on my extra special trade going right now. Where are you, Exxonmobil? Did I delete you? No. All right. Whoever in the Discord room said they were shorting Exxonmobil last week, and I said, you got to be careful, man. Do not short at the lows. You're holding the 200-day. This candle is not bearish. Pulls back, high and tight. We talk about high and tight. Boom, gap up. This is what sucks. If you short the lows and you have impatience, you're not just like, all right, I have to let it rise before I short it. This is what happens. I feel bad for folks, and nobody's taking claim to that. I can't remember who it was, but this is like the kind of stuff, like, this is where it's like no different than buying the highs at the extremes. It's like, don't do it. Like, Adrian, no. And then you do it, pops, not surprised. Now, again, this is what this person, and maybe these same in a group of people, we're not looking at the overall market going, wow, it looks like it's about to implode. No, it looked like it was actually diverging. Leadership was evolving and popping. Keep that in mind. All right, let's get into the trade of the day. The trade of the day, EQT. All right, so if I'm anticipating here, let me start it over. Let me start it from the beginning. I think UNG is going to hold, right? EQT is an nat gas name. Said look at below. Novice gap probably holds this area. If oil's rising, which clearly it is, it's up $3 or $4 a barrel going into OPEC. Why would gas not rally? It is. Got it? So here you go. Watch EQT, and everyone's like, whoa, look at that volume. Okay, they got added to some bunch of S&P mid-cap funds. Clearly others have to buy it, right? Holding up Friday, holding up. Did my best today to buy a dip. I didn't get a ton of it. I wanted to see it down here. Got it in the 41 area. Here you go. I mean, if this thing, again, because it's leading, nowhere near the lows. Upside, 45. Here, let me show you the zones. I'd be looking for somewhere like around here. Maybe somewhere around here. Not a bad little trade. Now, again, a lot of people say, oh, that's not huge. I like safe. I'm sorry, I like to get paid. I like to get paid. I want to be safe. All right, if you got any questions, please submit them. Leave a comment below, whatever outlet you're watching this. I appreciate you guys. I love everybody. Again, I love all the help because people are learning. Like, it's so exciting in Discord room. People will be like picking up on these little nuggets and going, huh. Now, again, anybody selling you certainty, social media, trading stars, nah. Trading is about how to minimize losses and how to win. And when you win, is it safe? Are you gambling? Are you winning? And winning, I mean, defining big is all relative. Because some people are like, oh, I made it $10,000. And like, well, what percentage of your account is that? Right? Like, I care more about percentages to me. Because, again, everybody's different. We all have different account balances. Like, how you're trading really depends on your percentages and how you're maxing it out or minimizing losses when you're wrong. Trading is not easy. Okay? So anybody trying to tell you, like, sell you on certainty is a freaking fraud, man. I tried to give you the best probabilities. I will be wrong. Everybody will be wrong. Everybody has egg on their face at some point in trading. If you don't, then you are a lying sack of and you're actually not trading. All right. Y'all have a great day. Again, it's 1 o'clock. Mountain Standard, I think we squeeze into the highs. I mean, look at the close. I mean, dollars nearer the lows. The VIX is nearer the lows. The SPY nearer the highs. I mean, it's a squeeze. It's a squeeze. Squeeze him and easy. I think it does something like this at worst. And I don't think we're at this day. I think we're at like, if you add this gap in this action, it's probably this. Remember? New money, new quarter, Yom Kippur. October can be seasonally bullish. We just need, again, news is what is driving the markets. Be safe, be smart, hit me up. Peace out. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.